watching TV. I said watching news. It doesn't make any sense for Sean Combs and Sean Carter to drug and sexually assault a 13-year-old girl. It doesn't make any sense. But then again, military units are really weird, you know. And most people are wealthy because of their affiliation with military units. So, but it doesn't make any sense. But then again, I'm not ridiculously wealthy. I don't make $765 million. So, can't tell you. Forgive, and trespass, love one with eternal faithful peace. Okay. The treasure of Solomon is the humility to understand Proverbs. Okay. That's the treasure of King Solomon. Okay. So once you understand that, you're okay. And don't be concerned about what they're doing with technology and what they're doing with germ warfare. The technology is getting more intelligent, and eventually we'll have to find ways to isolate, contain, and exterminate the people that are causing germ warfare and that are engaging in technological activities that can lead to terror activities run by corporations that call themselves governments that are not healthy for the planet or the species. So don't get, just focus on the Lord's Prayer and you'll be all right. If you can't focus on the Lord's Prayer, there's nothing I can do for you to protect you from yourself. Okay, so just focus on the Lord's Prayer. That's the best advice I can give you. Solomon, a wise person, takes all counsel and stuff. So when you talk to people and they say, well, you need to diversify with your funds. Oh, so we're going to take half our money and bury it in a big mason jar in the backyard and put the rest on the horse at Sunland Park or Rio Doso Downs that does his business before it goes in the chute. Okay, everybody make sure you go and spend lots of money at the Sunland Park Casino. Nutburgers. Yes, and you get legalized marijuana. You just can't take it back into Texas and use it. Earl, stupid, isn't it? One of the stupidest communities in the history of the world. Yeah. These people are stupider than the Romans that crucified Jesus, that occupied ancient Judea. Well, because the people in ancient Judea didn't have Jesus on YouTube or Facebook and shut him down on Facebook because he wouldn't join the Temple of Set Illuminati, There you go. No, I've never touched people and they have rose from the dead. They had me thinking I had those kind of abilities when I was in Sierra Vista when they started fucking my head. I'd hoped that I could touch people and help them cure their heart disease and cancer, and that it could transfer to me and I could not panic and heal myself because these people weren't capable of doing it. It doesn't work. It didn't work with my mom. It didn't work with Michelle's dad. It didn't work with this lady that I met that was real sweet that had heart disease. So it doesn't work. I can't walk up to people, touch them, and then I take their ailment and their ailment goes, I'm not John Coffey from Stephen King's imagination, right? So that doesn't work. I was hoping, Okay. But why would I hope that? That would be wrong thinking. If people stress themselves out because they accept money over the Lord's Prayer, and then they earn that sickness. If people drink alcohol and do drugs and then expect Jesus to step in and heal their bodies, well, first you're going to stop doing alcohol and taking drugs. Second, you're going to have to continue to stop doing it. And then you're just going to have to try to help your body. Every 3 years, most of us have a new body. The cells kind of clean itself out and you go through it, stuff like that. Some people can do it faster. Some people, it's slower. There's just the 3 is like, I guess, a mean or an average of most people. But then there's people that have like Romanovs and Habsburgs and Habsburgs, Romanovs, and Tudors that have hemophilia and other kinds of ailments through inbreeding that probably take years for their body to cycle through stuff. And if they can't do it, they die. Okay. So, the more you try to treat yourself better than everybody else, the worse you're doing for yourself and for your children. We learned that through Charles Darwin, the Habsburgs, the Romanovs, the Tudors, so on and so forth. So inbreeding and giving yourself preferential treatments doesn't do anything to help you be a better person, right? That's radically insane and stupid, right? I watch the news and I'm intelligent. You know, they had the kid that was upset, the master's degree kid from Pennsylvania University that the corporations created. And he got upset because of something that happened with someone probably he knows or maybe himself with the healthcare industry. And he went and murdered one of the CEOs. They killed my mom because she was no longer economically viable and they had to pay for her. Okay. I didn't hunt down and kill Richard Rockefeller, who gave his dad 7 heart transplants to keep his dad alive, who they signed off on my mom because she wasn't economically viable to them. Okay. I just wanted them to live the Lord's Prayer and go and sin the sin no more. So I can teach you how to be a man. Okay. If anybody wanted to punch somebody in the face so hard that they would never sign off on someone's mom because she wasn't economically viable, it's me. And if anybody, after I got punched in the face by people and didn't even feel it in Sierra Vista, never physically tried to engage people physically, never tried to instigate the situation, only stood up when it happened, and people always back down because they could smell the pheromones or are afraid this guy about to kill me. It's like, if you force me to, you killed yourself. Right. I was thinking that the other night. I was like, I've never been. And then I had to sit there and go, Earl, the biker, okay. And I had to go through an inventory in my head. Okay. And think, am I just thinking this? You know? No, there's been lots of situations where my endorphins go off and I can do things that I regularly couldn't do. Okay. And so, no, I'm not just making this stuff up. My hot body, my life has been this way for my whole life, from the time I was a kid. Okay. My health was compromised when I was a kid because my mom was breastfeeding me. She had to go to work because of economics, and I had electrolyte imbalance, and they had to take me to the hospital, and they gave me Coca-Cola without the fizz, like what we call Pedialyte now, and that helped get my electrolytes in balance so I wouldn't get sick and keep getting sick from having to drink formula instead of mother's milk. Okay. So there's a lot of things, that where when things are out of whack, I get soft tissue damage. I get sick like the rest of you. It's just different. Like that time I got exposed to mono, was over in 2 weeks. I got the COVID and was back to work in 3 days and then had to work while having the COVID back in November of 2019. When poor people in New Mexico have the COVID, it doesn't matter. It's not important until it hits the NBA and the Pac-12. Like Professor Coffeen said at Phoenix College, goes, we've always had a drug problem in the United States red light district in New Orleans. It's only a problem when it hits the upper white middle class. That was back in the 1980s, y'all. School, it only speaks intelligently when you're teaching people that are not going to be world leaders and go to the Ivy League, Oxford, or Cambridge, okay? Otherwise, it's just complete gibberish trying to sound intelligent because of overblown egos. Okay. Welcome to the William F. Buckley zone, right? So, you know what I'm talking about? And you got to understand these people, okay? I was in the barn just shooting hoops a little bit and had a conversation with the kids from, I don't know how it works with them. I only know how it works with me. But the kids from First Take, right? I was talking about where I played basketball. And it's like, no, just about all the places are probably either torn down or, the parks and at the hoops my dad put up and stuff. No, there won't be any like shrine to Earl basketball. The best basketball I ever got to play in an organized thing was the summer league in Phoenix right before my senior year. I dominated. That's why the coach had my eligibility forms filled out before the season started, before when I wasn't performing well in the classroom, but I was. And, people, like a lot of people say, well, it wasn't organized. It was excellent because there was no coaches present to manipulate the kids. And the kids were just playing basketball, and they were reffing and stuff. So we had good basketball because there was kids playing together and working together and coaches that were there watching us play and reffing the games. They weren't involved in being, excessive and compulsive. You move here, Brooks to 9-4, Queen to this, so they didn't have all that bullshit that coaches do that really most of them ruin the game. When you have a guy that's more intelligent than Bobby Knight and Mike Krzyzewski and more talented than Mike Krzyzewski and Bobby Knight could imagine half the players that did play for him weren't as good as he is. Being the leading guy, then I'm the type of guy I could score whenever I wanted, and then when I did, and it attracted more players, naturally guys with good basketball cues went to spots where I could, and I was a more than willing passer. I got yelled at most of the time by coaches because I passed too much and didn't want to shoot as much. And then they would say, you have to be the top threat so everybody tries to stop you. So your passes are more Coach Valley, Rico and Chuck's dad. And he was right. And Coach Payne, George and Jimmy's dad. You have to draw two to three defenders consistently in order for your teammates to get real easy layups. If you want Booney and Perry and the other guys to score, then you're going to have to draw all the guys that want to shut you down and have ego problems to you. So all the children of Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas are going to come and try to stop me, right? And then I go, ooh, Booney's wide open under the basket. His family's going to be excited. That's the first basket he ever made in an organized basketball game, which was one of the best. That was awesome. I don't have to win an NBA championship. I helped Booney McClung score his first basket in an organized basketball game in front of his family on the Colville Indian, in the Colville Indian Reservation area. And that's way better than winning the Wooden Award and all that crap. And the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It's better to get your friends to have their day in the sun and feel good because it's Graham Chahu's birthday than it is to make money from a bunch of mass murderers who deny us the Lord's Prayer. Trust me. I love you. Trust me. I need you. Okay, trust me. I want to trust you, baby. I'm being silly. But I love you guys. Let's load this one up. We'll probably talk more tomorrow. I don't know if we'll load any more tonight. I'd like to try to get to bed and, get some more sleep again because it feels good to sleep. All right. Peace out, man.